Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup. Hey, brother. How you going?
Hey. Doing good, thanks.
Yeah? Recovering?
Yeah. Yeah, that's safe to say.
Yeah? Man, you played Hellfest, right?
Yeah, it was great. It's it's a great festival and of course great experience to perform in front of such a massive crowd, and yeah, very cool.
Man, I guess it's one of those things, like, you're just trying to not make me feel bad that I wasn't there, right?
Yeah. I'm being very, very neutral and modest about it.
Did you see the big Lemmy statue?
Yeah, I did. There was right before we went on stage. The remaining Motorhead guys, they had like a ceremony where they like went up to the statue and had a toast to like a memory toast to Lemmy. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of art. I think apparently there is a part of Lemmy's ashes inside the statue as well.
I heard that. Yeah, it looks incredible. Do you know if I don't know if you heard anything what they're doing with it now? They're not packing it away, or?
I think it's gonna stay there for a while, but I'm not sure.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, was there any other mates that you caught up with at the festival too?
Yeah, it was a lot of familiar faces. That's the thing with these festivals, that perhaps more so than go seeing concerts. It is about meeting people, like friends from all over the world, both within like the music industry, but also from other bands and so on. So yeah, there was a lot of familiar faces.
Nice. I'm very jealous. Very jealous.
Your brother, I would be. I would be too.
Well, thanks for joining us on the show again, man. It's good to talk to you, that's for sure.
Pleasure is mine.
Well, of course, Wardruna have recently released the incredible, I messed it up last time. I'm going to mess it up again. Is it Kvitravn?
Yeah, Kvitravn.
Kvitravn. See, it's my strain. First Flight of the White Raven, which has, of course, the record and the live album from the stream in the last year, and it just sounds incredible, man. How was it reconnecting with the other guys and doing that after everything that went on? Was it pretty emotional?
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of how to say positive friction in the air, and we were really excited. Hadn't been in the same room for over 12 months, and yeah, coming together. Everyone was really prepared, and yeah, it felt like it had only been days since we shared the stage. The chemistry was there, and yeah, I think that kind of made up for the lack of like a big crowd. At the same time, when you do a production like this, there are people in the room, so whether or not you're performing for 3 people or 3,000, you still have to it's about becoming one with the songs and at one with the environment, and that's what performance is about, that it comes from somewhere real, and I think if we hadn't felt that, if that hadn't been what was captured, we wouldn't have released it either, and I don't think people would have enjoyed it either in the same way. And yeah, we felt it, and I think the crowd that saw the concert the first time felt it as well, and that then the potential of releasing it in hindsight was was the logical thing to do.
It sounds incredible, dude. Like I've been listening to it at work and in headphones, and man, it is amazing. I love those interpretations. And of course, I mean, how was it playing these songs live, like in front of people now, like getting that feedback?
Yeah, it's you never know how a song is going to perform, like before you're there, how it's going to connect with people. That's always very interesting, and but I think the stream gave us a good indication of how they work, because how they worked performing them was it felt so felt so natural and logical in many ways, and the response to the new material live as well has been it's been really fantastic to see. The album in general seemed to speak to people, so it's great to see, to feel it as well. In that dialogue with the crowd,
and singing along too.
Singing along, clapping and engaging, whether or not it's dancing or just sitting back there and taking it in. People have their own ways of doing it, of course.
Man, it must have been pretty amazing getting up there that first time after not being able to, and feeling that energy. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of bands about it, but man, it must have been just so incredible.
Yeah, and I don't know, after this period, and of course also because arranging concerts, traveling around, everything is so, the whole industry is, to be honest, it's pretty fucked these days. The logistics of it all is so challenging, in all in so many different parts of that process. So of course there was a lot of resistance also within. I had to go a few rounds, to be honest, whether or not this is something to do or not do at this point. But but being there in front of the audience, it was good to remember why we're doing this, and that interaction, and it's a pretty unique and special thing to it's a privilege, basically, that we're gonna fight for.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And this tour you got coming up is just, it looks amazing. The Nordic Night open air tour, where you're going to be playing some incredible places, man. Like, was it Devon's Castle in Slovakia, Augusta, Rorica? This is my Australian again coming into place in Switzerland, but all these places just look like it's just meant for your music, man. It sounds like it's going to be so magical. Are you going to be documenting these shows as well? Like, what's the plan?
The plan is not to film them. It's going to be predominantly for the people who are there. I don't know. Space and place has always been an important part of our I think we realized at a very early point how important it is to play in spaces that has the potential to complement and create a synergy with the music itself. So 2 + 2 becomes 6 instead of 4, so I'm very excited about that. And of course, playing under the open sky is always a nice thing. So of course it's less of a controlled setting, but but come on,
Yeah.
these spaces,
That's it, eh?
you don't need. Yeah,
Oh
it's
man,
going to be great, I'm sure.
big open sky with the stars and everything and the people.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wish just someone out there just put me in your suitcase when you're heading over there, and I'll end up somewhere at that show, because I would love to absolutely love to see you guys. Is it plans to come down
Yeah.
here though? I mean, you're welcome down here.
It's I think if the whole pandemic situation hadn't happened when it did, that we would have been there.
Oh
That
man,
there has been plans to do it for and pretty specific talk about doing it for a long time. Of course, now our focus has to be on actually being able to go through with the 5-6 different tours that we have been juggling around now for 3 years. So that is our main focus, and then when that is done, we'll look into these kind of things, and visiting down under is definitely part of that equation.
that makes me very happy to hear. Will that be your first time, like ever yourself?
No,
Maybe.
I've been lucky. Actually, most New Zealand.
Yeah.
But I was in Australia and New Zealand like 20 years ago
Oh
or
yeah, of
something like that.
course.
I traveled around but only like on a personal
Okay, I thought you would do it with band.
personal.
No bands.
No. I've no. So I've never performed down there. Only traveled a little bit
Okay,
around. Long time ago. But I
uh,
very much enjoyed it.
mate,
So
that's awesome.
I'd love to come back.
So I thought you traveled down here with a band, but I must have me and my old man getting things confused. But you have been here and you know what to expect. But of course, I
Absolutely.
mean, you've been doing this a long time, and you've deeply rooted in your traditional music. And I'm noticing that there's a lot of bands from a lot of different countries emerging now. Maybe they've been doing it as long as you have, but they're really starting to make a move on the international scene. Like, of course, yourselves, The Who is another one doing the Mongolian traditional
Yeah.
music, and it seems that it's more and more accepted these days, and as a mainstream show. What's your thoughts
Mm.
on that, and it becoming the people getting in touch with that?
I think it's important. I think it's a fantastic thing to give voice to these older parts of our traditions and cultures, and you see also, when you go far enough back in time, you see how um, how universal and timeless so many of these traditions are, how connected they actually are, which is one of the things, one of the reasons why I think so many people from all over the world are connecting so strongly with it as well. It has that potential. It's like these rhythms and tonalities and sounds, they're almost encoded in our DNA from far back in time, and making it you see indigenous music from all over the planet, how similar. You see it in the instruments that are being used, you see it in the tonalities. So there's a great set of logics, and also I think there is a massive sense of longing and a void to connect with our surroundings. And so connecting to music that are born out of these more nature-based traditions also makes a lot of sense. I understand that urge. That urge is what drove me to create this music in the first place. So and what I realized when I started to show my music to other people is that there was far more than just me who felt that longing to hear these sounds and these traditions being voiced again. It's because they are born out of nature. They are still as relevant today as they were back when the tradition was more alive, if you know.
How far back does it go for you? Like, is it, that you remember? Obviously, everyone goes through their stage of metal and like that's it. But does it hand in hand?
Yeah, in a way, I grew up with a lot of different music in my home. I had older siblings who there was a lot of metal music in
Yes.
my home that I grew up with, but also a lot of classical music and traditional music. And from a very early age, I can remember being very fascinated by historical and traditional music as well. So they've always been there, even though the first part of my life was predominantly spent on creating within the metal genre. But yeah, always there is a hint of inspiration from the traditional stuff as well. It's always been there, I think.
It's funny that a lot of metal guys that I know like love the traditional stuff. Like they just, they seem to connect with it more than anything, other than, pop or mainstream music. The metal community really gravitates towards it. I just,
Yeah,
try,
yeah, but yeah, and they've always used a lot of these tonalities, been inspired by it as well in the music, the musical expression. And I don't know, any culture and any tradition is a result of the environment where it evolves. It's shaped by its environment in many ways. And up here, it's pretty dark. It's pretty grim. It's pretty beautiful as well, like an epic. And you can hear that melancholy and darkness also in the traditional music and even in the pop music from Norway. You can hear certain parts of that dark melancholy. So it's a natural thing, I guess.
And you're finding that with that, especially, the metal and black metal history, that, it's becoming more looked upon with, like, it's a part of history there. Like it's what am I trying to say? That it's a universal genre now, and it's sort of good for tourism. It's good for, there's a lot of darkness in there, obviously, but that is drawing a lot of people too. And
yeah, I think of course during the rebellion that was in the early 90s, that's kind of a different thing. That even though I can't sit here and defend a lot of the things that went down in that period, but at the same time, if you see the effect it had on religious freedom, on artistic freedom, it moved some borders there that definitely needed to be moved in our country, in the whole secularization part. Yeah, there was definitely some very positive side effects of that movement. When something goes too far to one side, there always arises a counter reaction to balance things out a little bit, and then I think that's what happened. And of course, for many people, this was about music.
yes,
not only ideology. And I guess that part of the genre is what survived. And now it's more, and also people realize that it's not like what religious fundamentalists are saying, that people are like that you get depressed from depressed from listening to black metal or metal music at all. It's like it's like if you're unable to connect with opera, it just sounds like people are screaming their lungs out. It sounds like noise, you know. But if you connect to it, it's something of great beauty that gives you inner peace or energy, and it's the exact same thing with metal, you know. If you are able to connect to it, it gives you great joy, energy, expressions, you know. It's as any music form, basically.
Absolutely. Do you still listen to the metal? You still get in the car and crank some heavy stuff? Or
only for nostalgia, I would say. So it's mostly the stuff that I listened to when I was younger. But of course, also I have my kids are also into metal. So sometimes I get it through them. So yeah, it's still there.
That's awesome. It's still there. Yeah, it's always there. How old are your kids? At that age, that right age? That's
yeah. My son is 19 and my daughter is 15.
Yeah. They're right into it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm still stuck listening to like the Wiggles and stuff in the car at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, come on, guys, it's time for some.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
I feel you. Yeah.
You got to do it. You got to do it. But I know it's been awesome chatting with you again, man. And I definitely hope we can see you guys very, very, very soon. You know, once you get through all the updates, we'll keep the beers cold.
Hope so. Yeah. Sooner or later, definitely.
Awesome, man. Well, until then, you take care, brother, and stay safe. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
You too. Bye.